The people of Anoka County have a long history of caring for one another through great generosity. In the last few years, this generosity has been a catalyst for the growth of the Free 2B Car Care Clinic and most recently, Family Promise of Anoka County. These programs have provided relief for many individuals and families, but we know we can do more. To begin alleviating poverty at the local level, we can rejuvenate our work with the Compassion Action Network and address the issue of poverty at its root. In the book, When Helping Hurts, poverty is described as the result of relationships that do not work, that are not just, or that are not for life, that are not harmonious or enjoyable. Poverty is the absence of shalom in all its meanings. We firmly believe that Anoka County can experience true alleviation from poverty. The best ways to begin alleviation is to provide relief for immediate hurt and to begin a rehabilitation process by restoring dignity to individuals. We also have a deep desire to see healthy pride develop between an individual and their vocation. In this video, our desire is to show several new and innovative ways that rehabilitation is happening in Anoka County. Relief.
Beyond Horizons started originally 3 years ago from a vision that was cast, and there was a statement that was thrown out that basically, if Horizons Community Church ceased to exist tomorrow, would anybody even notice that we were gone? And as Christians and followers of Christ, we're supposed to be making an impact. We're supposed to be making a difference in our community. You know, love God, love people, serve the world. I'm Julie Clark. I am both the Managing Director of Beyond Horizons as well as the Local Director of Compassion for Horizons Community Church. We started off with moving services, shelter services, transportation, and auto repair. We also had another program called Friend to Friend Ministries, which many of you are probably familiar with, which is a mobile clothes closet that goes out and meets with the family table meal programs and the Manna Markets to distribute clothing to those who are in need. So from that, we were dreaming about a food shelf, and we were dreaming about how can we also support Beyond Horizons, Friend to Friend, and the food shelf. And so there came the idea of a thrift store to help support that. We found this location, which is located right on the corner of Coon Rapids Boulevard and Hanson Boulevard. So this is where we're going to have our food shelf and our thrift store, but it's also where all of our programs will run out of. So in addition to the food shelf and thrift store, we also have a furniture program, getting furniture out to those who are transferring from homelessness into permanent housing or from temporary housing into permanent housing. So we've got that in addition to the food shelf, the thrift store, moving, transportation, auto repairs, and shelter services. Now, how can we engage other nonprofits, faith-based, not faith-based, community leaders, and the government to help? Lots of ways. A, we got to keep this food shelf stocked. We know that it isn't going to be a problem of when they come in the door. It's how do we keep these resources going when they do. So it's helping us with getting financial support to be able to do these things, as well as volunteers to help us do that. We take furniture items, beds, bed frames. We're not taking any household goods, but we would take like pictures, we would take lamps, things like that, and then also clothing. We're going to start really small because this is new to us. So we're only going to be open for short periods of time, short days of the week, but what we want to do is be able to expand that, and that's where you guys can help us do that.
Rehabilitation.
I'm Patty Halverson, and I'm with Lee Carlson Center for Mental Health and Wellbeing, and we're over in Fridley. And we're a clinic and a nonprofit, and one of the programs that we do that is a really wonderful program is called Bridgeview, and it's a drop-in center for adults who have a diagnosis of serious and persistent mental illness. A serious and persistent mental illness could be anything from chronic depression, anxiety, to bipolar disorder, to something more severe like schizophrenia. People who are diagnosed with serious and persistent mental illness have a tendency to isolate, and the stigma of having a mental illness prohibits them from wanting to be out with people, and they tend to stay inside and alone. Bridgeview is a place that they can come and socialize with others who are on a common path to recovery. And they come in at no charge. It's a free program for them. They just have to have a diagnosis from a physician or a psychiatrist of serious and persistent mental illness. The wonderful things they do at Bridgeview span everything from having a wonderful breakfast or a lunch that's prepared for you to doing a really wonderful art program. A lot of the people that come here have no background in art, but they become really wonderful artists, and it helps them express some of the things that they're dealing with, and they show their art throughout the Twin Cities. Some of the ways that people can get involved with Bridgeview: lend something that you really love or you feel passionate about, and come in and spend some time to get to know the Bridgeview members. If you love to play bridge, you could come in and teach members how to play bridge. Maybe you love to teach makeup. There's a self-esteem group for women that would be perfect for. Maybe you're not a professional. Maybe you like to just help out and give back and have a personal connection with some of our members here. It could be anything from something very simple that you just love to do to something that you might have a special expertise or training in that you'd like to share with Bridgeview members.
We made what's called salad niçoise. We made a pasta with a chicken sauce, and then we made some strawberries balsamic for dessert. Hi, my name is Tony Palumbo, and I'm standing here in the kitchen of Bridgeview Community Center in Fridley. About a year ago, I was at a fundraiser and heard a testimonial by one of the clients here who talked about they wanted to feel quote-unquote normal. A hobby of mine is cooking, so what I did is approached the staff at Lee Carlson and asked that maybe I could come forward and teach a bunch of people how to cook a pasta meal and put together a 3-course meal. And we had about 20 people, and I put them all to work cutting and chopping and sauteing and tasting and eating and enjoying. And it was a way for me to connect with people who need a little bit of help getting through their daily life. And I was able to, for at least a brief shining moment, make them feel normal, and that was the whole purpose of doing this. I enjoyed it tremendously. In terms of the Compassion Action Network, my feeling is anybody who's got the opportunity to give a part of themselves to the community ought to do so. You will get rewarded far more than the people you are helping.
Development.
Well, I'm Julie Jepson. I'm the volunteer coordinator here at Stepping Stone Emergency Housing. Stepping Stone is a homeless shelter. In a nutshell, we house the homeless who, for various reasons, have been in a bad situation and they've hit absolute rock bottom, and they have come to us for help. At the moment, we house about 16 homeless men and women. We only are able to house adults, single adults. We have a huge demand for our facility because it is has such a strong program and is such a good place to be for people who are at their lowest of lows. We have a very structured 90-day program where we really bring our clients in and teach them how to maintain a home. But it's not just about having a home. It's not just about having a roof over your head. Finding someone a home is the easy part. It's having them keep it, which is the tough part. And that's what Stepping Stone strives to do. We try and give people, our clients, the basic skills that they need to keep and maintain a home and to be a part of society again. We are not just a shelter to put a roof over someone's head. We are much more than that. Well, Stepping Stone just actually moved to our own new home. We were in a 4-plex apartment building, and now we're in a 10,000 square foot facility, which is really exciting for us. Our hope and our goal is to attain to 60 clients. That doesn't even scratch the surface of homelessness in Anoka County, but we're doing what we can. We're doing our part. We need volunteers like you wouldn't believe, because our funding, like every other nonprofit, is very limited. And because we're such a unique shelter, we don't have groups of people that can come in and just feed the homeless for an evening, feed our clients a meal. We have a high need for mentors, and that is our biggest push for volunteers, because we step alongside our clients. But to have an active member of the Anoka County community, walking alongside them too, leading them into the community for other volunteer work, helping them find a job, just being a support. We all know that if there's something trying in your life, if you have someone to go to, a support system, that you're far more likely to be successful. And that's what we need for our clients.
Our hope in producing this video is to provide information and celebrate the work of these organizations. Compassion Action Network's hope is that you will be inspired to join in the collective effort of these groups. Our goal is that you as individuals and small groups can inspire your sphere of influence to take action. In this way, you'll begin to be a solution and support to the spread of compassion across the county in meaningful and lasting ways.